And now let's talk about this. Let's go away from Dean crying on camera. For some Christians, rapture anxiety can take a lifetime to heal. Like, all right, a few things. Let me be clear. Like, I do understand as someone who grew up in the like left behind, kind of, tidal wave of on culture. Like, I remember when that last Left Behind book came out, and everyone was like, "Oh my goodness, it's like Harry Potter," like it's like that big of like a cultural moment. Like, I understand that there are probably lots of kids that were very scared of the rapture, and like anyone else at a Bible college, I guess. I was one of those guys, playing pranks about the rapture on, one of the poor kids in the dorm. So, like, I get that. Like, there is something inherently scary about being left behind. But I just found this so funny. All right. Like, last week we talked about the TikTok guy, the Tiki-Taki guy, Brandon. I'm forgetting his last name. But, like the TikTok dude, pastor. So we're talking about like those kinds of people a little bit, and I saw this come up today, and I was like, "What in the world?" And I read it. It's from April A. Joy is really like the focus of it, and she's huge on TikTok as well, and part of like I even showed a clip actually that she was in last week of a podcast that she does with a few others, and they were interviewing Brandon, but. It's just so funny to me. Like, okay, there might be like some things, but it's very clear that like CNN is trying to paint this as like, oh, this harmful theology. Like, oh, look what it does to people. It gives them this anxiety about the rapture. Like, what they're trying to do is try to weaponize like a sense of fear, like as if this was like something that is unhealthy and should be avoided. And it's like in some ways like some kind of like tormenting factor of a religion, and that it needs to be done with because it's archaic, like that kind of like that. As you read this article, I just thought it was super funny, just like this idea of rapture anxiety. Like, we're just putting anxiety about everything that is like something that we don't like. Like, obviously no one wants to be left behind. Now, whether you believe in the rapture or not, that's a different thing. But like for those that do, like, the idea of being left behind, of course that would be like, a scary thing, especially for kids thinking about that. But just because something is unpleasant in a religion doesn't make it to where it's like this like oppressive thing, to where, oh, it's just harmful for young minds to have this kind of ideology shoved in their face. Like, hell isn't a very like fun thing to talk about or a fun thing to think about. And yes, it's scary, doesn't mean that hell doesn't exist. Like, it's just kind of funny that like rapture anxiety, it's like the most like, are we really doing this? Like, we're just putting anxiety and like, all of like these mental health issues on top of anything that's unpleasant and religious structure. Like, no, hard pass, CNN. Oh, hey, you watched the whole video. Sorry, I'm just doing my light rating here. If you watched the whole video, that means that you probably liked it. So might as well hit the like button before you click over here on what YouTube thinks you should watch. I have zero idea what it is.